Hello, learners. You're welcome back to class. My name is Miss Amina, your PHE tutor. In this week, we'll be looking at track events, and by the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the meaning of track events, mention the events under track events, differentiate between sprint races and long distance races. All right. Remember in our last class, we talked about athletics and we defined athletics to be sporting events or activities that involve running, jumping, and throwing on the track and field, except ball games. So, and I mentioned that we have two major divisions of athletics, which are the track events and the field event. So now we'll be looking at the first aspect of it, which is the track event. Okay. So now when you hear track events, they are events and they are races that are performed on a running track. So track events, they are any kind of race at all that you can think of that is being done on track. It's referred to as track events. Okay, so track events has three major events in them. So the events under track events are three, and they include sprint race, middle distance race, and long distance races. So what did I say? The three events under track events are the sprint race, middle distance race, and the long distance race. So the first is a sprint race. Sprint race is a short distance race run with a full speed from the beginning to the end. And examples of these short races being referred to as sprint race are the 50-meter race, 100-meter race, we have the 200 meters, 400 meters, relay race, steeplechase, and hurdles. All of these are examples of the sprint race. Those short races, short distance race that you don't need to run for a long time, they are referred to as sprint race. Middle distance race is a race longer than sprint race and shorter than long distance race. Examples are the 800-meter race and the 1500-meter race. So long distance race, this is a race longer than middle distance and shorter than distance races, and it takes more time to complete it. Examples of these races are 3,000 meters, 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters, the marathon, and cross country. In long distance races, runners may not maintain any lane, but overtaking others must be from the right hand side. We have two ways of starting a race. The first one is the crouch start, and you have the second one to be the standing start. The crouch start and the standing start. So a crouch start is when a runner starts a race from a low crouching position with their hands on the ground as seen in this picture. This particular start is used in sprint races, and then in sprint races a runner is disqualified after two false starts, and a runner who crosses into another runner's lane will be disqualified in sprint races. I repeat, the sprint race usually adopts this particular start, which is the crouch start. They are the one that mostly adopt it. But the middle and the long distance races do not use this. They use a standing start. Okay, the standing start is when a runner starts a race from a standing position and not on the ground. We normally use this stand in our middle and long distance races. Assignment: explain track events. In what position does sprint race start? Briefly explain the three events in track events. Thank you as we've come to the end of the class today. If you have any question, do not hesitate to drop it below. Thank you for listening. See you in our next class. Bye.